Apex and Titanfall are two amazing games with incredible movement. But there are significant movement techniques in Apex Legends that aren't even mentioned in Titanfall 2. So do they actually work in Titanfall 2, and are they even relevant? Let's find out. So a pretty cool movement mechanic to begin with is something in Apex called the Superglide. This is essentially where you get a boost of momentum once you have climbed up a ledge, and slide and press jump immediately after. In Apex you have to time it right at the apex of the climb animation to achieve the boost in a specific direction. So I dropped into a private match and tested it in Titanfall 2, and straight away I could tell something was kind of there. If you implemented your jump and crouch at the same time, you do perform a kind of Superglide equivalent. However, it doesn't feel as strong as the Apex Superglide, and equally I tried this without the slide input, and you can travel just as far by immediately clicking jump rather than jumping and crouching. The only time I would expect this to come in handy would be if you're going left or right. Straightforward just doesn't really have a significant impact. However, I tried this technique paired with stim and it felt a little better. The stim gives you an added boost to the speed of movement, but it doesn't really seem like a technique that I'd use loads. It only strikes me as something that might work in a very specific situation, and because you can build speed much quicker in Titanfall than Apex, this comes as no surprise. The second technique that I wanted to try out was the punch boost. This had recently come to light in Apex as a movement mechanic, but the punch boost is pretty popular. This involves getting a speed boost by punching an object or the floor in the opposite direction you're traveling, and I tried it out in Titanfall 2, but sadly there is no movement boost given from punching an object or the ground. I tried it while sliding, tried it while jumping and wall kicking. All of them didn't seem to make any significant difference to my momentum, so punch boosting is only really possible in Apex. I wish there was some kind of drone in Titanfall 2 that we could use to do stuff like this. The closest we have to the crypto drone Grapple is grappling the dropship that drops off grunts midway through matches. However, I don't even have any clips of this because Northstar doesn't even have grunts in yet, but I'm sure you kind of know what I mean. And this last one is a movement technique I've never heard of until now. I assume it's called the crouch slide, and it's used to get instant momentum from crouching in Apex Legends. This is pretty useful when trying to surprise enemies with quick bursts of movement, so I checked it out in Titanfall 2 and it actually works. It's pretty simple. All you need to do is hold crouch, then start to sprint while still crouching, then let go of crouch and perform a normal slide. The timer that determines whether you get a slide boost starts as soon as you sprint in your crouch, so this gives you the ability to slide straight away. However, while in Apex this technique is pretty significant and has the potential to swing fights, in Titanfall I can only see fairly limited uses for it. The first being, if you mess up movement and end up in a crouch, rather than waiting to sprint, then jump and then slide to begin your slide hopping again, just perform a crouch slide and off you go. And the next one is if you're in a close quarter battle and you need something quick to throw off your enemy's aim, that's the other point that I'd expect a crouch slide might come in useful. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Apex and Titanfall are clearly fairly different games within movement, but still pretty similar. Is there anything else in Apex that you might think be possible in Titanfall 2? Please let me know in the comments. Have a good one everybody. Goodbye.